Hello friends, so I'm back with another video on Sociology optional subject for UPSC CSE means examination, and in this video we are going to cover colonial policies and tribes, a subsection under tribal communities in India. So friend, please do see us, it will really motivate me to continue this awesome course. Comment and like the video and hit the subscription button below the video as hard as you can, and ask any doubt if you have. So friend, in this video, as you know that we are covering slot 2 autonomous topics, and we have already covered introducing Indian society in its two subsection, perspective on the study of Indian society and the impact of colonial rule on Indian society. In this video we are going to cover tribal communities and its subsection colonial policies and tribes. We have already covered definitional problems and geographical spread. So friend, the question on this video is that how does the new Forest Act affect tribals? Colonial policies and tribes, and basically tribes are largely remained isolated and autonomous in Indian society from the perspective of colonial rule, and thou, G.S. Gurre and other national Indologists do not agree with this view. Then during the British rule, the policy of isolation and non-interference was adopted, but during the colonial period, the administrator realized the economic potential of the forest and forest products, and then they started to intervene in the forest area. Lord Dalhousie in 1855 introduced the forest policy and declared timber as the property of state. Then subsequently in 1865 first forest law was passed, and then first forest law was made, and then in 1874 all Indian forest policy made, and then after that in 1878 second forest law was formulated. Then in 1927 Indian Forest Act was passed, and in 1935 under the Government of India Act, forest was declared as a subject in the state list. Then due to the above mentioned policy, laws and act, following impact can be identified on the impacts on the tribes, and these impacts are: first, that the tribes lost the traditional control over jad, jungle and zameen, that means root, forest and land, and then it will resulted in the loss of control that they are having from centuries, and suddenly they become clueless over their livelihood. Since the forest product and forest became the property of a state, various administrators like rangers, forest guards, revenue collector enter in the tribal area, and then they started intervening in the life of tribes politically, economically, socially and etc. Then over the period, contractor, laborers and other persons entered in the tribal area and exploited them in multiple ways. Tribes started losing their autonomy in terms of culture, politics, kinship, and due to acculturation, acculturation means having interaction between tribals and non-tribals, and basically here tribals are exploited by non-tribals. Then they have integration and sometime assimilation also. Assimilation basically means merger of non-tribals and tribals, and basically here that non-tribals culture will be involved or gone in the life of non in the tribals, and they affected tribals culturally. Then due to the colonial policy, Christian missionaries were facilitated in the tribal areas, who converted the large population in Christianity and changed their traditional way of life. Then tribes were forced for bonded labor on contract, agreement, indebtedness, prostitution, alcoholism and drug addiction and etc. So then, according to T.B. Nayak, the colonial policy created multiple problems in the tribal's life in political, economic, social and religious spheres, and then it will resulted into various revolts and movements of the tribes in colonial period. For example, we have in 1818 Bhil Revolt, then in 1822-40 we have Koli Revolt, in 1829 we have Khasi Revolt, then 1831 and 32 we have Kol Revolt, then 1855 to 56 there will be Santhal Revolt, then 1899 there will be Munda Revolt, and then finally in 1917 and 18 we have Koki Revolt. Then Alistair justified colonial interventions and said that it was important to intervene, otherwise the ignorance of importance of the forest and forest product could have destroyed by the which will be valuable and by destroyed by the mankind of tribes in the past. Then, but G.S. Gurre and other national anthropologists completely disagree with him. They say that economic exploitation was the only agenda of colonial rule and their policy towards tribes. Then Nayak believed that the first interaction with the mainstream society of tribes was like a nightmare. They never felt the comfort with the outsiders, even during the colonial period and even after the independence, when we adopted the policy of welfare state, which is introduced after independence, the policies and the programs for their upliftment. Then they carried their suspicion and reacted in unfriendly manner with the non-tribal peoples. So guys, thank you for listening me and watching this video. Attempt the question that is given in the starting of video, and please do these 3 R's, comment and like the video, and don't forget to share the video so that more people will be get benefited, and hit the subscription below the video for more notifications and updation related to the videos that are going to come, as we have to cover a lot of syllabus. Thank you.